Greetings. Assalamu alaikum. In our Qur'anic Reflections, we reached Surah 2, Ayah 7-7. So let's go ahead and use the time available to reflect a little bit over this. Let's read, from the Quran direct. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أَوَلَا يَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَعْلَمُ مَا يُسِرُّونَ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. Quick translation. Don't they know? And in the last video, we discussed that this is about the Jew. One issue was about the mushrik of Makkah and their idols, but the rest of the talk is about the Jew, who were afraid that the Muslims may know the content of their books and their teaching, as we discussed in the last video. So here Allah is saying, don't they know that Allah knows what they speak, they reveal, speak up, and others can hear, and what they conceal, they keep hiding, no one can hear for themselves. And maybe I discussed, maybe not, that for the longest time, Jews and Christians had their books hidden from the average people until after the medieval ages, when a person named Martin Luther, translated the books into German and made it available to everybody, from the Jews and the Christians in the world. Then the translation went to other languages, and this translation caused a lot of harm to the content of the books, no doubt about it, as the translation is doing to the Noble Quran as well. Those translations are full with mistakes. It's the best way to read Quran is in Arabic. So Allah is saying, don't they know that Allah knows what they reveal and what they conceal? Then Ayah 78 says, وَمِنْهُمْ أُمِّيُّونَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ الْكِتَابَ إِلَّا أَمَانِيَّ وَإِنْ هُمْ إِلَّا يَظُنُّونَ. And from among them are those who are non-educated, non-literate. I hate to use the word illiterate. I don't like this word. So they are not educated, not literate, and they do not know about the content of the book except very, very little, superficial knowledge. And on top of that, what they know, what they think that they know, it's based on their wishes. They wish that the words may mean this, not according to the proper meaning of the words. وَإِنْهُمْ إِلَّا يَظُنُّونَ. And most of the time they think, they guess, not sure. And this applies to the majority of Muslims today in the world. From the 2 billions, 99% fall into this category. So this is about the Israeli Jews, but we have to learn the lesson. We have to learn from their mistakes, but we are not learning. Among us today, among the Muslims, are those ummiyuna, illiterate. They know nothing about the book, yet they stand on the minbar and the masjid and they start preaching. Then Allah says in Surah 2, Ayah 79, فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ الْكِتَابَ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ ثُمَّ يَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ لِيَشْتَرُوا بِهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا فَوَيْلٌ لَهُمْ مِمَّا كَتَبَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَوَيْلٌ لَهُمْ مِمَّا يَكْسِبُونَ. Woe to those, damned are those who write the books with their own hands, and then they say ثُمَّ يَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. This is from Allah. This is what Allah said. لِيَشْتَرُوا بِهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا, so that they get and they acquire cheap gain. Could be financial, could be cheap fame, false fame. trading with the words of Allah. فَوَيْلٌ لَهُم مِّمَّا كَتَبَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَوَيْلٌ لَهُم مِّمَّا يَكْسِبُونَ. Woe and damnation to their hands that wrote this, what their hands wrote, and damnation to what gain they got out of it. Now, as I said, I'll keep repeating it. Every time we speak about any nation, Israeli or any other, in the Noble Quran, we need to learn the lessons. We need to apply it to ourselves. This is Quran not in the hands of the Jews. It is in the hands of the Muslims. Those messages are for you. The Jews do not carry this book. You are carrying those words today. And this applies to the majority of Muslims again. How many books we have written as Muslims, apart from the Noble Quran? Thousands. And the worst, when it comes to those books, apart from the Noble Quran, that Muslims have written, maybe those who wrote the books do not claim, but those, the mainstream, they call them the mainstream. This is a very sad title. Evil, satanic, mainstream. So everybody in Mecca was a mushrik. Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam should follow the mainstream. Idol worship. Why he deviated and brought us Quran? Mainstream. You can keep it to yourself. If this mainstream is going into darkness and Satan dwelling, we don't need to follow this mainstream. Like the mainstream of the mushrik in Mecca during the life of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. So, many have written books. Muslims who have written books. Other Muslims came, the mainstream, and they claim that this is from Allah. No, it is not from Allah. Allah sent only one book, the Noble Quran. And Allah said, damnation. Maybe not to the hands that written the books, but to those who acquire those books and claim that they are from Allah. This is proper Islamic teaching. Very well, now the next message is very sensitive. So please, give me your attention. It is Surah 2, Ayah 80. وَقَالُوا لَن تَمَسَّنَا النَّارُ إِلَّا أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ قُلْ أَتَّخَذْتُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَهْدًا فَلَنْ يُخْلِفَ اللَّهُ عَهْدًا أَمْ تَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. This is a very sensitive issue. And this is a Jewish message. Let me give you the translation, real quick, simple translation, not complicated. And they said, the Jews, the Israeli Jews said, during the life of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, hellfire will not touch us, will not torture us, except for a new counted days, known days. Few known days, we can count on our fingers. So Allah responds from above the seven heavens and says, أَتَّخَذْتُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَهْدًا. Have you taken a promise from Allah about this? فَلَنْ يُخْلِفَ اللَّهُ عَهْدًا. Allah will never fail to fulfill His promise to you. If He told you that you're going to stay in hell only for a few days and then you'll go to heaven, then that's what's going to happen. But Allah say, أَمْ تَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Or you make up evil, satanic stuff and teaching that Allah has nothing to do with. Of course, that's the situation. Look through the Noble Quran from one cover to the other cover. You will never find a promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling anybody, not the Jews, not the Muslims, not the Christians, not the Hindu, not the Buddhist, nobody, that you're going to go for a picnic in hell. Just a visit, short visit, few known days. No. The ayahs in the Noble Quran are very clear. Those who enter into hell, they are in it eternity to come. Now, this is a different discussion for a different day, because there is a time on gathering ground that 1 year may feel like 50,000 of our years. And there are those who pass through hell and then they escape. And those who go to hell and sit. And once they sit, it is eternal. There is no escape, no returning, not a short visit. It's not a picnic. And when the time comes, when we read those ayahs, inshallah, we will explain in full, inshallah. So, the mainstream, the funny title, the mainstream Islam teaches, preaches, spread false information, saying that the believers who say La ilaha illallah will go to hell for very short period of time, like a picnic, for short days. No, this is Jewish Israeli talk. And Allah, shoot in their faces and answer, you did not take a promise from Allah. Allah never promised such a thing. This is an evil, false promise. So don't say we are going to go for a short time to hell and then we're going to go to paradise. This is satanic and dark promises. Don't promise yourself this. No, live your life praying and making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to escape hell, not to enter, thinking that you're going back, out. There is no out. It's a one way. So Allah, continues and says, to increase, to emphasize. Allah is emphasizing the answer that we just gave from the words of Allah. And He says in Ayah 81, Bala, من كسب سيئة وأحاطت به خطيئته فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. Nay, yes, whosoever made a sin, sinful life, the good deeds will try to do away with the bad deeds. إن الحسنات يذهبن السيئات. But if his bad deeds and bad evil actions exceed much more than the good work that he did, Allah says, أولئك أصحاب فأولئك أصحاب النار. Those are the people of hell. Those are the dwellers in hell. For how long? For a short period. We are just saying, we are talking about few days, a short visit. Allah says, هم فيها خالدون. They are sitting in it, eternity after this. Once you enter, it's a one-way street. There is no return, no escape. That is different from وَمَا مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَعْدًا. None of you will escape from passing through. Just passing through. And then Allah will save those who deserve and the rest will sit in. So, we all are going to go to hell. Even the martyrs who are in Jannah today, they passed through hell first. To look at it, to see what they escaped, what Allah saved them from, to appreciate Jannah more and more. Every time they eat from the blessing of Jannah, they remember where they were going to be otherwise from those two places. So, وَمَا مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. Of course, we will go through, we will look at it. And if we are supposed, and we are destined to go to Jannah, we're not going to stay. We'll just pass by. Even the heat will not touch us. We will not have enough time for the heat to reach our skin. Very well. Then Ayah 82 say, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Remember the message in Qur'aanic Reflections before? I said through the whole Quran, Allah never say Iman only will take you to Jannah. This is not true. False teaching. in books apart from the Quran in our hands today, Allah says, Amana wa amila salihan. They have Iman and they do well. They do good work. Here it is again. It will shoot us in the face over and over through the whole Quran. Iman alone is worthless. To say La ilaha illallah alone is not good enough. You have to support, in the West we say, action speak louder than verbs. You can keep saying Iman, 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 but if your action do not show this Iman, then you are doomed to hell. So, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Those who believe, they say La ilaha illallah, and they do good work. أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Those are the people of Jannah, of paradise. In it, eternity to come. That too is a one way. There is no exodus after this. They enter and they stay. Eternity after this. Very well, so the next ayah we will move to a different message, back to the Israelis. So let's stop here with this reflection so far. Please remember, those who say and who teach you falsely misinformation that you're going to go to hell for a few days for a picnic and go back to Jannah, tell them they are lying. They are not honest, because Allah say, have you a promise from Allah? Look through the whole Quran, from cover to cover. Find this one ayah. And Allah say, I gave you from وَضْرَبْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ. I gave you in this Quran from every example. Give us the example from the ayahs and the words of Allah that He gave us from every example, that there is a promise from Allah. You'll go for a short period of time to hell and then come out to enjoy paradise, Jannah. This is not true. Not from Allah. Period. So, we'll continue next time, inshallah. Be safe and take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.